Hello, everyone. I want to talk about this thing that many people will consider controversial, but I really do not care because this is African issue, and I am here representing African perspective. Now, let's talk about European leaders. You have ECOWAS, you have EU. There are things that happened in Africa. You have the Sahel Alliance, a group of three African nations that separated themselves from the rest of the continent. They overthrew so-called democratically elected governments and their military leaders in charge. The ECOWAS are against that, AU against that, African leaders against that. Okay, let me slide. Muammar Gaddafi was brutally murdered by NATO. No African leader, the ECOWAS, the AU, they did not comment. They didn't even condemn it. They didn't say a word. They just stood there looking. They NATO came, destabilized this country, unalived this great man, Muammar Gaddafi. Nobody's condemned it. Nobody spoke. All African leaders, they were there sitting. Look at what happened recently in Mali, where the Ukrainians, in an attempt to get to Russia, they came in there, armed the Tuaregs, which is considered terror organization, and then unalived the Wagner groups with a bunch of Malian troops inside Mali, on Mali soil. These are Africans. I mean, if they're Russia and the Ukraine, they have issues, this is their problem. But coming into an African land to attack their so-called enemy, quote unquote, and unalived the people in the land, okay? No African nation or organization, AU, ECOWAS condemned it, none. No leader from African side said a word. They all kept quiet. Now, let's bring it another way. America, the whole of Europe, Britain, French, German, they all are supporting Ukraine because it's their brother white nation like them. And we know that Ukraine is in the wrong. If you have to really consider why that problem is there, Ukraine is in the wrong. But these Western nations consider Ukraine as their brother. They are all there supporting. America is sending weapons, giving money. Because look at Israel. It's a white nation, a fellow white nation. America is equipping them with money, with weapons, everything. Britain, Europeans, because it's there, they consider them as their own. But in the case of Africa, African nation, anything happening to a fellow African nation, African leaders will be quiet and silent. They won't speak. But inside Africa with their own people, that's where they flex their muscle. That's where they get all the strength. That's where they oppress, kill, slaughter, talk, do all kinds of things. But when it concerns, I mean, where is the allegiance there? Your people. Allegiance should go to your people. Instead, ECOWAS is siding with Europe, with European, with America, with French, with Britain. I mean, what is wrong with black leaders? What the hell is wrong with you black leaders? You are all house slaves of the West. It's time we start talking about these things because this is it. We live in a very special time. We must start talking about all these things. These white nations, they protect themselves, they arm themselves, they equip themselves, they give themselves money, support, intelligence, whatever. Africans, instead of doing the same thing, you call, oh my God, you will stand again. ECOWAS wanted to go and attack Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso because they separated from them and want to be by themselves. They wanted to go and fight with Niger because French and America say so. They want to go and fight their own. America will never go and fight Britain or fight with the French or fight with any white nation. Never. They will never do it. But Africa is ready to go and fight a fellow African nation because of white man interest. Shame on all of you African leaders. Your European house slaves, cowards. Only where your people are, that's where you have strength. And this issue of AIDS is another annoying thing. This now, Mali has kicked out the Swedish from their country because the Swedish are supporting that Ukraine came inside Mali and unalive Malian troops inside Mali, and then praising Ukrainians. Then the Mali government, the military guy, say, get out of within 72 hours, we want you out. Because we give you AIDS, and then because we give you AIDS, you cannot be taking our AIDS and then, siding with Russia. And the Mali government say, who are you to decide to us who we want to be friends to, who we want to talk to, who we will side with in our own country? Get out within 72 hours. That's how noble men behave. Coward idiots like Tinubu, we go and fight. We want to go and fight their fellow African brothers because of a white man interest. African leaders, shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. It is time, this era we are in, it's time you straighten your belt. It's time you stand up. It's time to get some common sense. It's time to reason like human beings. Except if you want to remain European house slaves forever. That's what you will remain, and you have lost your integrity. You don't have any respect. People like me, I don't respect any African leader, because for me, all of you are idiots. If you think otherwise, prove me wrong. Your fellow black nation, you want to go and fight them because of white man that will never fight anything for you. When there was problem in Ukraine, racism, everybody was running out of Ukraine because when this war wanted to start there was racism towards African people. They were, transporting everybody out of a danger zone. They wouldn't allow Africans to escape. No African country, no African government spoke up. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. They didn't do anything. They didn't contribute money to help their people to get out of the danger zone. But if it's in the West, they will even give a warning to their people, send them planes, send them help so that they will escape the danger zone. Why don't you people look around and see how others behave in situations? African leaders, wake up. African leaders, wake the hell up. This is mess you people are in. And that's why they don't respect us anywhere we are. Because you people have made us, they look down on us. They don't even think we're human. Because you don't respect your people, why should they respect us? You don't treat your people like we are human. Even in our African continent, the leaders don't even treat us like we are human. Why would you those people outside respect you? Because of idiotic leaders like Tinubu. Foolish people like Tinubu. That's why nobody respects us. We are not treated like every other person. Segregation, racism everywhere. Because of foolish people. Now, those three nations, Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso, are doing great. I had expected every black person all over the world to be praising them, to side them, to support them, to talk about them, because they are trying to redeem our lost glory. They are trying to restore our image in the eyes of the world. Nobody talks about them. Nobody, no leader, no African. Some of people don't even know what's happening in the Sahel. Wake the hell up. The time that we live in has changed. We live in a different time. Time has changed. Follow up in the news and know what's happening. I try to share this information so that people will be aware about what is happening in the world. So you key in. Don't become ignorant. We are at the age of information. You must know about these things and support your own. Don't just sit down there. You don't know what's happening. You can't, when it concerns your people, we don't understand loyalty. We don't understand patriotism. You don't know that you have to be patriotic to your people and to your nation. That's what everybody does in the matrix sense, in the matrix. That's the language of the matrix. Why won't you live in the matrix? Why won't you follow what's happening in the matrix? Why not? Other people do it. They're patriotic. They respect their people. They care for their people. They respect their nation. They fight for their nation, except in Africa. And they keep telling me, oh, we are democracy. We are democratic. To hell with you and your democracy. Now, I'm going to do so many teaching because our people need to wake up. You need to wake up, embrace your own, defend your own, support your own. This is what everybody does. You cannot be fighting your own. Look at what's happened in South Africa. A black lady won, an Igbo lady won Miss South Africa. In an African country, the South Africans rose against this girl. And nobody is condemning, no government is condemning all these things in Africa. You can't see something like this in the West, and then you associate yourself with the democracy like the West are practicing, and you don't act, you don't behave like them. Oh, I don't want to keep you too long here, but my simple message here is it's time. We live in a different dispensation. You black people, wake the hell up and rise up. Start speaking up. That's the age we live in, age of information. Condemn evil. Whatever you see that's not right, condemn it. I don't know what the hell are you afraid of. Those of us talking it, we have one head just like you have one head. You can't keep silent. Silence is the reason why there's too much impunity in Africa. Because they know people won't say, people won't speak, people are afraid, people are scared. They keep doing whatever they want. If I'm talking it, you're talking it, million of us are talking, they will stop. Because you are afraid, you don't speak, you're silent, you give them room for impunity. I don't know how we're going to explain this so our people will understand what we're saying. Anyway, let me end this for now.